right. Oh God. All right,
Damn,
y'all.
everybody. Welcome to Home with Smooth. My name is Frankie.
Byron just
I'm here
started
with Ugly Reggie.
beautifully.
I got Heather living her best life out here, and Smooth once he begins to start talking after he drinks his nasty spinach kale concoction that's making him choke right now. He will get on with today's episode. I don't know what number it is, but guess what? I don't have to know what number it is because we have so many episodes. We're over 100. That just go look at our back catalog on Spotify, on YouTube, wherever you get your podcast from. How are you doing today, Heather? How are you?
I'm great. I'm feeling grand. It is 9 o'clock over here, so I'm just kind of chilling, ready to jump into this topic. So.
Okay,
what about you, Reggie?
This is
Reggie.
Real quick. This no. Real quick. This is episode 108. All right, this is episode 108, and then we got with us a special guest, Ugly Reggie from the Ugly Reggie podcast. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right.
Ooh.
From the Ugly Reggie podcast.
So, do you want to plug yourself in right quick, sir, so everybody knows where to find you, even though we already know where to find you?
Oh, exactly. I mean, you already said it on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcast for. And also, Mr. Hustle over Handout brand. Shameless plug. That's why I got the hat on.
Shameless plug. Gotta do it.
Right. Mm-hmm. But, okay. Well, without further ado, I don't know what's killing me. Like something is
your
literally
digestive
attacking
system
me
is just
from the inside, and it picked till right now to attack my soul. But anyway,
your soul is mine, like that old Mortal Kombat movie.
Oh, what?
Yes. He knows what he's talking about. Yeah, those old ones from way back. Yeah.
Oh man,
Frankie. I'm picking up.
I'm too much today. See, no more.
Yeah, that was like Tales from the
Hood. It's the oxycodone.
Soul is mine. I'm like, wait, whoa. Trying to go, but anyway, so we're here to talk about today, Danileigh and DaBaby, right? And y'all seen the whole situation, like. They had the big public breakup on IG Live. He kicking her out the crib. Then Danileigh brother getting beat up in the bowling alley on the lanes. Like I ain't never seen nobody get beat up on the lane. Like how y'all end up fighting in the lane?
No, he deserved it. He deserved it. Like how did he think that was gonna go? Like what was you expecting? Like they gonna let you shoot that 1v1 real quick? Like they gonna we gonna run that 1v1. Man, no. And I pay security? Yeah, you gonna take this L.
No.
That
I threw a bowling ball or something. Man. I threw a bowling ball or something. He went up there like he was gonna give a fair one.
Right. And my thing is that's a really popular bowling alley. Like I've been to that one and I'm like,
oh, it is?
And like everybody goes to that one. So I'm like, why did you think you gonna run up? He obviously gonna have some security with him. Like this was not the place to catch him. Like this wasn't the
place. Oh, he was asking for it.
I mean, we talking about DaBaby too. Like this man got a body under his belt, so I ain't gonna lie. I would move a little cautious, like running up on him, like at all people.
Right.
Oh,
and he didn't beat up other people. That's the thing. Like he's a legend for just beating up people.
Okay.
Oh,
like I think I don't know a year he's went without beating somebody up. I think it's like every year. This is 2020 checked off. He's good for the year.
That's actually true. Yeah, that's actually true. I was gonna say I always hear him getting some kind of fight. Always.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny too, though? That bowling alley is like 6 minutes from me.
Really?
No,
that's crazy.
Not. That is crazy. He's
that
like
man got to down the street.
Because Smooth knows usually like I'm not like in like celebrity drama. But I guess since it happened so close, I was like, "Oh, like what happened at the Corbin Ball? Oh, shit!"
It's right around the corner. That's crazy.
Yeah, a lot of these places are like really close to each other. Like,
yeah.
And I'd be wondering, I'm like, what do y'all think is gonna happen? Like, this ain't.
Somebody got in his ear.
Yeah.
And was like, "Yo, let's run down on this man." And I don't know. Like, as a, I got a sister. And I would have to go through steps. Like we would have to go through steps before I publicly get beat up, and then turn around and sue them, man. Like Like you forever known as the dude that beat up at the bowling alley. Like, and nothing you do makes that situation better. So not only did you get beat up, your sister got played, you got beat up, and now you suing. And you know what I'm saying? Like nobody wants to
right.
Like, oh, you ain't suing them though. We understand. Like, no, bro. No.
Nah. Now you done publicly embarrassed the whole family.
Twice.
Like that's just not
Shame on your family.
You about shame on the family name.
Dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow.
Seriously, I'm like, no. That is just, That's why I'm like, and like you were saying, consider the consequences. This is DaBaby we talking about, and you can't just,
Yeah, that, and I think my thing is too, like with DaBaby, because even with his history and all the stuff that we see, how much of his shit gets dismissed too. So
right.
Yeah. So it's like, so the thing is, the two things are happening. Either it's all self-defense, or he knows how to make it, so it looks like it's self-defense. So he could legally kick your ass. So it's like, why even? Like, if that was me, and and even once DaBaby rolled into Corbin Bowl, I'd have been like, all right, guys, I'm out. I'm out.
Or at least, like I said, fling a bowling ball. You
gotta fight dirty with this.
Yeah, you gotta fight dirty. Like I'm gonna take the L, but you know what I'm saying? They're gonna at least he hit him with a bowling ball, at least, you know what I'm saying?
All my friends are there. We're all giving a bowling ball.
People in the crowd was hyping. Oh, my bad. Yeah, people in the crowd was hyping him up. Like there had to be the instigators. Like, man, the baby right there. I wouldn't let him do that to my sister.
Bro, he kicked your sister and the baby out, bro, and the baby.
That's your little nephew. That's your nephew on the street now.
He has to do something now. He got to do something because that ride back to the crib would have been weak as hell. Like, bro, I don't want to hear nothing from you. No rap songs, no nothing, because you had a chance to run down to this man and you didn't.
You did, right?
Man. But so Danileigh and DaBaby, they broke up, right? So why do people keep going back to toxic relationships? Like, why she go back? Heather?
Ooh.
I'm just tired of talking about this. So on Black Twitter, let me get started. So on Black Twitter, this is a common topic. This is like probably one of the most common topics. So here is my theories, okay, from somebody who also has been in toxic relationships, whether I was toxic myself or the person I was with was toxic. So the person I was with for 8 years, we were both toxic. I mean, even before we got married, like we just were. But let me give you some theories on why some women want to stay in toxic relationships. So I'm going to say the history. Some people who have been in long-term relationships, and you'll hear people say like, oh, we've been together like 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. And you'll be like, oh, that's a long time. And they'll be like on and off. And you're like, red flag. Because you already know like something has happened over and over again where you guys keep getting it wrong. So that's a clear sign of a relationship that is not working. So why do you keep continuing? So A is the history. Like, for me, I know it was hard for me to actually leave my ex because we had all this history. I knew his whole family. He knew my whole family. We had all these memories together. A lot of firsts I had with this person. I lost my virginity to him. We went on a lot of trips together, things like that. Big milestones in my life we encountered together. So history is probably one of them. Second, sex. We already know. If the D is good, it's hard to go. And I've noticed that for men, that's usually their reasoning too, is, oh, okay, like, well, it's just too bomb. I can't go. Like, I can't stop thinking about her. I can't leave her alone. That kind of thing. And then, I don't know. I really feel like those are the two biggest ones. If I can think of any more, I don't know. But honestly, sex, usually people are tied into the sex a little too much. And then 3, like your attachment style, I really feel like if you're codependent, it's really hard for you to move forward. Yeah, I was going to say, I actually had to look up some things on codependency in order to like unlearn some negative behavior so that I can actually like detach myself and like healthily move on to someone else. So a lot of people just don't know what a healthy relationship looks like. They're just ignorant. They don't even know what healthy is. They haven't seen it before. There's no good examples in their life, or they're just like hopeless romantic and they just don't care. They think that if you keep fighting and keep staying together, that's going to help, and it often does not. So.
Yeah, I think I'll just add on to everything that you said. So I'm not even going to go repeat any of that. I also think just status, because the status of being with someone, depending on what they bring and how it looks. Unfortunately, we're in a, because we have to remember that, you know, our parents' generation and their parents' generation, they were all saying like, hey, guess what? You know, divorce is an option. You're supposed to stay with this person. So I think they're trying to. So one, they're afraid of what it looks like if they leave somebody else like that too. Like I said, status, because if someone, like I said in DaBaby's case, you know, besides all his crazy antics, it's like he's DaBaby. He makes money. He's a household name. He knows all this stuff. So people are like, well, and unfortunately we hear people like, it doesn't matter what he's doing. He brings this. So like, stick with it. And then also shame, because people, they don't like admitting. No one likes to admit failure, and that's even
true.
That's even with the relationship. And I think this goes from guys and girls too. So it's not just why women stay in toxic relationships. It's why men stay in toxic relationships. But then, and the thing is too, so the point that I'll accentuate what Heather said is that if certain things are really good in the relationship, you could always go lean on those to stay in, to give you reason to stay in, rather than, like you said, you know, all the family, it's really easy. You don't have to start all over. The sex is great.
Yeah.
Habits over there too. They're really good at saving money. Because like I said, because my ex-wife too, it's like we were great except for, but you know, on everything except there's 3 things that finally out, and I had to be like, you know what, no, and it was hard, because guess what, because I had to stop everything off. My lifestyle has to change now.
Yeah.
Luckily we didn't have kids, but we know, so we went, you know, both making money like that too, just to, hey, not doing this, not doing that, you know, and not even lifestyle, just habits. It's like, if I'm doing this and this, she's able to do this and this and this. Now I have to put in like the work to do everything like for myself. You have to go cancel all this stuff. So it is a lot of work too. It's sometimes like I could say, like, if and speaking from my experience, if we didn't have 3 big things and maybe it was only 2 or 1, I might have stayed. I might still be married, because it might be because honestly, because it was a lot of work to get divorced, to get it off of that, to detach from everything. And even like up until like a couple of years ago, I was still feeling the effects of it too. And sometimes you're like, it's just not worth it.
Yeah, at all.
I feel that. Brady, what's up, man? How you feel about it?
Oh no! Shout out to Heather for even. I think it was real big for you. Said most people don't know their attachment types, and what happens is the anxious will always get with an avoidance. Like it like
every time,
every time, and it's because for one, we don't have what we believe or what is good role models for relationships. We think we know good relationships, and what happens is as we grow up, we like, okay, we see this couple, we're gonna model our relationship after that, and then we get into relationships, and then for one, we don't know how to effectively communicate. And what happens is it does. And what it is I think the reason why we keep going back to toxic relationship is because it's a familiar pain. It's very familiar versus human, because humans are creatures of habit. And to me, the dumbest thing I've ever heard somebody say is, I'd rather give the wrong person 1,000,000 times than go to, and then try with 1,000,000 different people, which is stupid to me, because you know what you're gonna get out of this. But once again, people rather it's comfortable. I know this, I know what I'm gonna get out of this. It's scary. And then I think from a psychological standpoint is, as humans, we love punishing ourselves from a lot of trauma that we dealt with. Not to get too deep in all, that, but
that's a big one.
Yeah, because me personally, I'm a self-sabotager. I really am. And what it is the second it gets too good or something happens, I'm like, okay, I know where this is going. This she's finna leave me, or something's finna go wrong, or when she truly knows who I am, she's gonna get scared, and then I'm gonna mess. So let me go ahead and push her away before it happens. Yeah, that toxic shit. It's familiar. It's familiar. We love it. We praise Future. Yeah. We praise City Girls. We don't praise anyone that wanted. Like, it's easy.
Those are good examples too.
Yeah. Oh, very solid examples. We love it. We love it. We love it until it's us. And then next thing you know, like, so I ain't gonna lie to you. Shout out to Blob. I love sitting back and reading them dummy statuses. I love reading. It's stupid. Like, you get with a dude. He's fucking 8 out of the 10 friends, and yet you expect it to work for you. Like, I don't understand that. I don't. And then one was fucking this person, and it didn't work out. I don't know. It's kind of entertaining, actually.
Yeah. Bam, ran through the click.
Runs through it.
That's bad.
Once again, I don't shame anyone for being sexually free or liberated, but you just not gonna do that with me. You're not gonna do that with me.
You said you're not finna do that, but yeah.
No, we're not finna be out and it's 3 dudes, and all of a sudden I gotta wonder, was you hanging from the ceiling or was your neck off the edge of the bed? Like, no.
Was you hanging from the ceiling?
I'm not gonna, because you told me you liked me enough to do that. Now I see dude in the Charger. Did you do that for him too? Because I don't like the way you're looking at me.
Right. You learned this somewhere.
Yeah, you learned it. Yeah, you learned it somewhere.
Oh my God, y'all, so
you just didn't wake up one day doing this.
No.
You're too good. I know that's practice.
And dudes, and I'm insecure with that. Like, I'm insecure about that. And you know, me and we hang around other nasty dudes, so I know you was hanging with Tyrone, and I know some of the things he's done. I know. So now you want to come to me. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. And, you know what I'm saying? I love you, and I can't accept this. Like, I can't accept this.
Man, what kills me is when people be doing all that extra stuff, and then they want to be like innocent. Like, bruh, like just cut it. Like, just cut it. We already know. That's the whole reason I'm talking to you. I know what you do.
Good point.
Let's get the business.
Yeah.
Please and thank you.
That hurts me to
I'm
my
signing
soul.
up for that. Yeah.
Right.
That hurts me to my soul, because now we got to play this merry-go-round. And I'm like, I don't care, ma'am. You know why I'm here. You know why I'm here.
You know why.
Let's not play this game. I don't care. I want my turn. I just want my turn.
Throw baby.
We ain't got to play these games. Like, we both grown. Let's go ahead and get this. Let's go. And I want what you did to him. I want that too. Because he told me about how good it was. And I deserve that. I deserve that.
That's one thing about men. Y'all definitely do talk.
Like, I heard you can do the splits while whatever. Like, that's what I'm trying to see.
I'm trying to see what that's like. I'm trying to see what that's like.
I'm dead. I'm like, can we even talk about stuff like that? Okay, well, I was like, yeah, it happened to me once when this was like last year, actually, in December. This guy I know for like a super long time. We had some great, amazing sex. And what happened? He told his friends about it. He invited me the next week, and I didn't know his friends were going to be there. So I walk in the room, and they're like, is this the girl? And they were like, and it was so quiet. You could hear a mouse fart in there. It was so quiet. And I was like, what's going on? He was like, oh, have a seat. They were like, yeah, you can sit right here. And I was like, what is going on? Like, is this an intervention? Because I was a drinker. And I was like, yeah. And then after that, one of his friends hit me up and was like, yo, dude was talking about you did this and that. Like, what? And I was like, oh.
He was trying to see what the livery. That's why if dudes really love girl, he'll never let that be known. Or dudes will have his main girl. You never I want you to think this is boring as it gets, and I'm selling and I love it.
Won't tell nothing.
I'm not telling you nothing about that. But Keisha from down the street, listen, when I'm done,
hey,
I drop off by the house. Like, I'll go by the house.
He's definitely like, hey, so it's my birthday, so what's up? And I was like, huh? This is not like Uber Eats.
Whoa.
That's why. I said, oh, you got me, you know.
But see, that's why you had to be careful with dudes. You got to be careful because it happened to me. I wasn't looking at this girl, no way. It didn't dawn upon me. I just saw her as a young lady. Then all of a sudden, dudes want to share extra story and news, and I'm like,
no. See, no.
You know, I catch me looking upside the head sideways.
Man, listen, bruh, like there were so many times where like, man, like I was in other group chats with other dudes and they were like dropping stuff in the chat. I'm like,
Yeah, y'all do that.
I know her.
Bro, that's what gets me.
I got class for her tomorrow.
I know her.
I'm like, and then what's kind of, you don't want to sound lame. You be like, she do all that, like, huh? Bro, I'm telling you, like, I tried to talk to her, she wouldn't give me no play. Damn, here she is off the headboard. Damn. You start learning a little bit about this shit.
Man, listen, it hurt your heart a little bit. You like, she did all that for you.
Let me see that video. Bro, let me see that video
sandwich with me. And I was paying for the sandwich.
No play. And what's crazy, you go in there with an objective, knowing you finna slide that, and I'm talking about she playing crazy defense. She playing crazy. You like, damn, bro, come on with the layup. Like, damn, like,
right.
And you don't want to sound like, oh boy, for what's that the wood? You like, damn, you like, what you call it here? I know I look better than him. Like,
no, because then you definitely not getting that after that.
Yeah, you definitely not. Yeah, you sound like a hater at this point. So you like,
yeah.
Oh
man, ain't getting that thing.
Noted.
Where the heck did? Okay, yeah. So, with that said, man, y'all got anything else y'all want to add to the toxic relationship?
Oh,
I do. Go ahead, Frankie.
Oh, I was gonna say, I do know girls talk too. Yeah, because
I got a story about that actually.
Because I have a story because this was like way back because I knew this group of people, and so yeah, it's way younger days. So and it was weird because I'll throw in some names, so I'll make some fake names. So pretty much, I knew Jennifer and Stephanie. I knew them because we went to summer camp together, right? And then I got and then I met. And so after that, knew him like that. Forgot all about him. Then after that, I met Danielle, and I actually started dating. Danielle, and lo and behold, Danielle fucking knew Jennifer, and they were like fucking BFFs like that too. And then Jessica, and then Jessica started dating my friend, right? Well, I was dating Danielle. I remember Jennifer was all kind of like upset because I was dating Danielle because Jennifer knew me first like that too. But then I forgot what happened. So then, so I forgot what happened like that too. And then down the line, Danielle and I like we broke up, right? And then and I never slept with Danielle at all, whatever like that too. But then somehow I got along about my fucking dick size to freaking to fucking Jessica, then fucking Jennifer, then Stephanie, God. and then there's a girl fucking Kansas that I didn't know, and this is weird because I knew people from like different groups like that too, but then I didn't know like behind that like when they got together too like as well too because I was kind of like in and out, so I didn't know how convoluted everything was, right? Because then Candace knew my other friend Josh, and then so pretty much I ended up sleeping with Kansas, and then after that fucking happened, Candace rang up fucking Jennifer and was like, "Guess who I fucking's like that too," and then so Jennifer knew like that too, and it's funny because then I think before that, because Stephanie was actually older, and actually hooked up with Stephanie too, and then there was all just like that too, and I'm like, what the fuck?
That is crazy.
But then I found out from every different person like that too, like who said what, and then for a lot of like it was a game, so I'm like, if I do this,
so you would know, yeah.
So then I'm like, okay, so then that's the thing. So then it was like, okay, I only did this with Danielle, and at the time too, and I was kind of like what Reggie said. I didn't tell anybody anything Danielle did because for a while I thought, I was young, I was dumb. I thought Danielle was the fucking one, so she was a saint, right? But then even like my boy Josh, who was dating her cousin. I didn't even tell him because it's like, no, Danielle's a saint. We love her. We want to do whatever like that too. And then lo and behold, fucking Danielle told fucking Jennifer. But luckily, like Jennifer told me that one. I was like, the hell, like the fuck. So then you go around again, and I'm like, okay, I'm not doing anything. And then I know Jennifer, she was going through her issues. So then by the time that I met up with Stephanie, and then we did for a little bit. So we did our thing, and then that kind of got around because that got around to Candace, and it was funny. And I think girls, they'll do it. They won't tell like a whole group. They'll tell specific people.
Okay, that's true.
But the thing is, since I knew all the people would be telling me, and they're like, oh yeah, this person told me. I'm like. And or they try to lie like, oh, Danielle told me that. I'm like, I remember when I told you, I'm like, I never slept with Danielle. And they're like, oh well, yeah, like it was Stephanie or it was Candace or
they just set themselves up for failure. Oh
yeah,
God.
but I'm saying I'm just saying girls talk too. So now I made a new rule that once I with one person in the group, I'm not returning to that group ever at all.
That's a good rule, by the way.
I'm trying to slay him. I'm trying to slay him.
You're better than me.
I'm trying to shoot.
That's how I'm saying it.
I think if you go in, like no, if you go in and like that's like your goal, more power to you. Like that's all you like. But that's it because since I'm past, trying to and that's when I was younger and dumber. But the thing, it was funny though because you find out they talk because I didn't even go with them back to back. There was time in between them because like I said, I knew Jennifer and Stephanie like that too, but and I kind of grew up with them. Then we disappeared. Then I met Danielle. No, it's actually and then I got with Danielle because I was with Jennifer and Stephanie again. I met Danielle, so then it was Danielle and I for a while like that too. We did our thing, left. Then it was like, oh, got drunk with Stephanie. It was like, okay, cool, fun. We're two consenting adults. That's fucking fine, whatever, like that too. And then you start freaking hearing things, and it's like, oh, Jennifer told me that Danielle said this, and then blah blah. Jennifer bought this, and Candace did this, and blah blah. I'm like, oh. But I think the real loser of the story was probably Jennifer because I think she wanted to sleep with me the most, and she never got it.
Yeah, she was sucking this the whole time. Yeah. I was gonna say, I'm thinking about Jennifer this whole time.
Jennifer just talking to all of them about it, like, my turn is coming soon.
You ain't Jessica.
My turn is coming soon.
Yeah.
Started punching your air like on Boys Are Up, man. Boys Are Up.
This is for Jennifer right here.
Poor Jennifer. I hope you find you're looking for a girl. Yeah.
She gonna try to double back.
No,
she might, Frankie. No, that bridge.
No, like that too. No, the only person that out of that whole group I'll double back for would be Danielle.
Oh, shout out to Danielle.
Okay.
Which funny
hey,
story.
Danielle, if you listen,
you got a chance.
Frankie said it's
funny story though, because it's funny because I think the last time I had a chance, I actually ran into her at a store. But when I was still married, it was my wife. I'm like, oh, and my wife was like, why are you so weird like that too? I'm like, oh, hi.
Oh my God. So Frankie ran into her with his wife.
Yeah,
because his wife was like, "Why are you acting all funny?"
Yeah, because it was right back. It was right back when we got back to California. Because we're like that too, and it was like, oh, and like I totally caught me out guard. I'm like, oh, I still smell like an angel. I was like,
oh. That was his boo, baby. That was his boo thing.
We all have one. We all have like that. Just like no matter what, it sucks for everybody. You have that one or two people in your life that like no matter what, you got mad love for them, and nothing they could do unless they kill somebody. And even then, if it's not your family member, you still hold them in that high esteem.
Right. I don't have anybody like
that. Crazy, but I love her though.
I stopped putting them on pedestals a long time ago. Because boy, I'm talking about.
Oh no, she's not a pedestal. Because she is like that too. I just hold her in high regard.
Yeah.
That was a great story, Frankie. Thanks for sharing that. That was interesting.
That damn Moxie, man.
Heather, what would you say?
That's what it.
That's
Oh yeah, because you were asking us if we had anything else to say about the topic. Oh, okay.
Girls talk.
So girls definitely talk. But for toxic relationships, my only thing is like I honestly hate how social media glamorizes it, and I also hate how sometimes social media will also try to put that veil and everything. Like, oh no, this is a toxic relationship. Like trying to compromise. There's a difference. It's a thin line. Okay, I would say it's a thin line. But compromising, like if you're with somebody, you're gonna have conflict. You're gonna have to talk about some things that maybe are like, oh, I don't really agree with that, or like, you know, that kind of thing, where you might have to twist and turn it a little where it's cohesive for both of you. That's not a toxic relationship. You know, you can talk things out and find solutions and make the relationship work and it not be toxic. So I really just honestly, at the end of the day, if people don't know what it is, if you're going to social media to figure out what the fuck it is, you are fucking up, first off. And secondly, this is why I always tell people they should honestly go to therapy. And I know I feel like we always mention this in any type of talk that I ever have with anybody. This is like always the resolution. Talk to a licensed professional who has a degree or something like that can tell you, like, this is healthy, this is unhealthy, this is codependence, this is being avoidant, this is being anxious, or, you know, this is a trauma response, this is not. Because if you don't work through your own personal shit, you're not going to know, you know, if you don't love yourself enough to work through your own shit, you're not going to love someone else enough to work through their shit too. And it's a lot to try to work through your own shit and someone else's at the same time. And then you're thinking you're toxic, but really you just haven't dealt with your trauma and you haven't dealt with your own personal problems. And you really need to do that first. So anybody out there who's trying to be in a real, actual committed relationship, not a situationship, not fuck buddies, I mean like a real relationship where you're really trying to establish permanence, then I highly advise you to do that.
Therapy.
But you know, you gotta have self-awareness to want to do that, because most people don't want to do that. Yeah. Most people go into therapy wanting their therapist to prove that the person is wrong and they're right, and you know it's not how that works. It's just not how that works at all.
That's true too. That's a good point.
Okay.
Because how do you even know? Like, how do you even think of, you know, like, how do you know you're wrong or the other person is wrong if you always think that you're right or that the other person's right? Because some people are like, I don't want to say simps, but some people are like, oh no, they're right. I got to do this better and do this better. It's really they're the problem.
But then once again, it goes back to that. It goes back to that trauma response as well. That's you know.
Okay, well,